Welcome back, everyone. All right, we're gonna get this week started with a bang and with some good videos. I didn't post anything yesterday. I mean, I don't think I did. I did Monday, but I didn't Tuesday. Today's freaking Wednesday, and I'm already behind on some video schedules. All right, this is gonna be my last video for like a new series of Dekus, because I gotta get back to the old ones and start getting those videos out. But we're at 45 subscribers, guys. Just 5 more away from that special vid I told you guys about. And 5 more subscribers away from, and then I can start live streaming, because I have a PS5 and, you know, we can start streaming some gameplays. But also, we've got a new thing set up in case, for you guys when we hit those 50. Let me show that real quick. Now, for the first time ever on this channel, I'm going to say this right now, 5 likes to continue this series if you guys like it. But for the first time ever on this channel, we have sponsor vids now. So if you guys ever want a specific video from me, well, to specifically make one for this channel, then just like another certain YouTuber who also explains and does rants on his own YouTube channel, I'll link his thing down in the description below, because he's the one who inspired me to actually do this type of stuff. This is basically the link to my Cash App. That way, if you guys want a specific video, $1 donations or anything among that situation, just say what video you want to see come out more in the future, or what gameplays you guys want to be out, because we're 5 subscribers away from that. Then I can start streaming those and showing you guys. And then it will be immediately done to the best of my ability. Exactly the way you want that video or gameplay done. Well, the gameplay is just going to be, well, me playing the game, but the exact video, you can make it as specific as you want. All it takes is just a quick $1 donation, and that's all we did. So sponsor future videos, and you guys will be pinned up in the video down below. So let's get back to it. All right. So, oh wait, hold on. I didn't even do the intro yet. So let's get that done before anything. Y'all ready? I'm ready. To the intro.
Hey Ross, sauce it up. Shit can get dangerous, yeah. Shit can get dangerous, yeah. You staying with a lame bitch, yeah. Well, I'm staying with the gang bitch, cause that's gang shit. Like, ooh, and they gon' stay by my side, cause them boys down to ride, yeah. Like, ooh, she tryna play with my mind. I can't be wasting no time, yeah. But them boys.
Alright, everybody. We are here with this one. So I call this a Origami Deku. I mean, the reason why, well, is because you can clearly see it on this here. Okay, so let me show you guys the quirk per se. So I'm gonna give you guys to read that. Okay, Sen creates paper animals, and his quirk lets him bring his origami creations to life. To activate his quirk, he needs to steeple his hands and breathe into a scrap of paper written with the name of the animal. Yeah, breathe into a scrap of paper with the name of the animal written on it. God dang, what is wrong with my voice today? He's free to break hand position once the origami comes to life. In order to destroy the creature, the original origami must be destroyed. So as you guys can see, this gigantic dragon above him. Okay, if you guys want to know what steeple means, it's basically this hand motion he's doing right here. And if you want to make that big dragon go away, you got to destroy the dragon that's literally in the middle of his chest. So with this being said, I'm giving Deku a lot more freedom with his origami creations. Now, obviously, if you guys see that paper duck, or that origami paper swan or duck, whatever the heck it is up there, yeah, you can see it right next to him. Okay, Sen is a humble and easygoing boy. His grandma taught him everything he knows about the craft. Carries a pouch with a bunch of pre-folded origami. Sadly, that's not going to be the good one for Izuku, because the ship in this one, guys, relies on Deku. Well, I can't tell you exactly, but you guys are going to have to listen to the story for it. So, you know what? Let's just do it. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we go onward, I'm going to make Deku's quirk even more special. Not only can Deku create a bunch, like an unlimited amount of animals, because there is no set number. He can just make an army of these set animals if he wants to. But also, Deku can also fuse with his creations. Like this dragon right here. Deku could literally become freaking Kaido if he wanted to. He could become a giant goddamn dragon just breathing fire on everyone. And the thing is, you can't hurt Deku. You can destroy the origami creation that he's within, but that'll just make Deku go back to being a regular human. Once Deku is fused with his creation, there is no set way to hurt him. And you can't burn the animal he is. Like, let's say if Deku was this dragon and you were to set a nuke on it. Of course, you would blow up the creation, but the dragon would just regenerate and rejoin itself back to normal. There is no way to destroy the animal itself unless you destroy this creation. But Deku would not be hurt because he's constantly fused with the animal. Yeah, that just makes it broken. The only way you can hurt Izuku is if he's in his humanoid form. And that's pretty much it. But Deku can not only create animals, he can also create mythical monsters and mythological creatures. So yeah, and fusing with them as well. I'll give you guys an example later in the series. So, let's get this started. We would start with a very young Izuku Midoriya at the age of 4, where his quirk would actually he would get go to the quirk doctor, where Deku's quirk would, be shown on the scale. And the doctor would come out and tell Inko and Hasashi exactly what Izuku's quirk was. And it would be called Origami at this point. Because I like origami. So they would ask what his quirk does because it doesn't sound very powerful. And, the doctor would explain, your son can make, origami. That's pretty much it. Also, Deku has, very quick hands. He has the freaking Naruto signal of hands. So he can work pretty fast under pressure. So if you were to give him a piece of paper, I promise you he would, make it very quickly into an animal that's super useful. So anyway, the doctor would say Izuku pretty much has fast working hands where he can get a piece of paper and fold it into an origami. And they would give him an example. They would show Deku an origami of a fox, and they would tell Izuku to make the origami fox. And Izuku would have to look at it only one time from all angles, and it would take him not even 2 seconds before he got it completely done. And it would be perfect. So his parents would say, "Is that all his quirk can do?" And the doctors would pretty much say, "Well, yes, that is pretty much all it can do." And, Inko and Hasashi would put up a front saying they're so happy for Izuku because he's got a quirk, but inside they're writhing with anger and resentment because it's not a useful quirk that they think. There's nothing special he can do with it. And Izuku's only showing the early stage development of the quirk. That's why. Because it just showed up. Not all of its aspects are true to it yet. Like I said in Slide and Glide Deku. I'm gonna, change the name of that pretty soon. Just because a quirk seems weak doesn't mean the applications and/or substitutions or associations with it are also weak. It can take multiple things to make a quirk perfect and powerful, and Izuku's about to show that later on. So, with that being said, as they would get home, Hasashi would immediately pack his things and saying he's leaving for America forever. He doesn't want a son that isn't going to be rich and isn't going to, take care of him in the future. So he decides to leave his family. And Inko would break down crying as Izuku would go and hug his mom, and Inko would hate Izuku for it. She would try to hit him, but Deku would immediately dodge out the way. Because, a child, even though Deku would flinch away from it, he would still run because sense of survivability into it. So Inko would begin to hate Izuku. Over the span of a year, she would not like Izuku. Izuku would always have to fend for himself and make his own food, as Inko had pretty much fallen into the drink and just given up on Izuku. As Deku would start to feel sorry for his mom and/or himself, he knew that he pretty much had to fend for himself. His mom stopped caring for him, stopped buying him things, stopped showing signs of love for him. It had all gone down the hill when Izuku became 5 years old, and Inko had basically just had enough. She was so drunk and pretty much gone off the rocker that she had made a phone call that she was definitely going to go through with. And Izuku, who was eating dinner at the time, had heard it. As he went to his mom's room door, and he heard Inko on the phone with someone. Yes, I'm sure, and this is how the conversation goes. Like, yes, I'm sure about this. As long as you bring me the money, everything will be fine. I don't care. I need to get away from here. I don't care what you do with the boy afterward. Just give me my money so I can get out of here. Like, yeah, sure. All's well. I'll make sure he's here. Right. Yes, I'm positive about this. I know there's no turning back. But this boy can't do anything for me. He won't be able to, he won't be able to satisfy our money problems. He can't help me financially as he's just a child. And his quirk is too weak. There's nothing he can do for me. There's nothing he can offer. Alright, see you later on tonight then. As Deku would immediately run back to his room and he would shut the door carefully. As he would be mad because, well, Annie would start to cry because his mom's now trying to get rid of him. She doesn't want him anymore. But Deku wasn't just going to lie down and be taken away by some random people. He had to escape now. So what Deku had done? Oh, this was okay. Deku had basically he made his mom some food, and his mom went to her room to eat it. This gave Deku a chance. He packed a backpack. This is 5 years. Deku's 5, by the way. He's a 5-year-old packed a food for a bunch of days, and he had gotten his All Might hoodie at the time, and pretty much he had opened the window and left because Inko would have heard it if he tried to leave at the door. Plus, he was probably too short for the locks anyway. So Deku had got out the window, and he started wandering on his own. Later on tonight, of course, Inko didn't get the money, and the guy had left, but she pretty much didn't care. Izuku was out of her life, and that's all she wanted. But she wouldn't have minded a little bit of money. Also, she was going to use that to pretty much flee the country. She was going to leave to go to America to find Hasashi or anything about that. But I guess everything turned out fine on her own problems. But back to Izuku. We cut to Deku wandering the streets. Like, obviously it's late at night. Deku's passing by some people, and pretty much he's getting the Shigaraki treatment as we saw back in his origin story. People would pretty much avoid him and not help him out. They would always pretty much say a hero is going to help him out, so why should we bother? Everyone would make a point to just avoid Deku. And Deku couldn't believe that no one would even stop to consider helping him out, would even ask is he okay. Deku had pretty much had considered going to an orphanage, but he knew that was going to be a long shot as well, because once they found out what his quirk was, they were just going to reject him anyway. So Deku decided to just live on his own. No one going to help him, no one doing anything. He would just fend for himself. So eventually it would start to rain outside, and Deku had to find some shelter. He had to do something. So when that would happen, Deku would decide to go into a subway, and he would pretty much ride down the freaking the railroads. He wouldn't be on the tracks, but there he would be like at on the side where some workers can actually go and perform maintenance. And he would wander into like this abandoned wing of the subway, and he would be really, really, really far out from modern people. Basically, he would go into this like abandoned zone where, you know, not even some trains would pass through. Like, this one has been completely cut off, and I mean it's been boarded up by wood and everything, but a 5-year-old Deku can squeeze through the wood packs. As Deku wouldn't really know what to do, but it's shelter for now, and from now on this was gonna have to be home, as Deku would pretty much be Kevin 11 at this point. Oh Lord. Okay, but while that was going on, Deku would pass. Deku would bring. He would check in his backpack, as he would check his last few items for right now that he would savor until like next time he was hungry for the morning. It would be a bag of chips, as he would open and pretty much eat. It would pretty much be his last meal for the whole night, not knowing how long it's going to be. But until Deku had thought of an idea, he didn't want to be alone in this abandoned wing of a freaking train station his whole life. So he had to do something, and that's when he decided. He remembered the fox origami that he folded the paper into last time, and that's what he decided to do. Like, okay guys, I know and he see a scrap of paper with the name of the animal written on it. This is where it's gonna come in handy. Deku would rip the bag and lay it flat and to where it's a flat surface, and he would fold the bag until the words on it would actually fold itself into the word fox. So Deku would have a fox origami with the word fox actually written on the origami itself. As Deku would start to grin a little bit, but also tears would start to stream down his face as he realized he was useless. Nobody wanted him. No one cared. As Deku would start crying, like, okay, Deku would eventually fall. We cut to like an hour later when Deku would fall asleep. And basically he's asleep like inside of the okay, he's asleep inside of the station. I know he's inside of the station, but what's that thing called? Dang, I'm trying to think right now. I can't really figure it out, guys. So basically, okay, he's in like the managing zone of the abandoned train station. Like, you know where you would go to buy a ticket or something from the place at? Yeah, Deku's in like, you know, that booth or whatever. So as he's laying down with the fox origami in front of his face, Deku would be sleeping. And on reflex, as Deku was naturally breathing, a purple mist would come out of his mouth, as it would look majestic in a way, as then it would touch the fox origami as just barely. Oh, this is gonna be fun. The fox origami would start to glow purple, and then it would create a full-fledged fox, as this fox would be created from the origami. Now, I know basically the guy in the picture had the dragon and the origami coexisting, but since Deku pretty much written the thing on the origami itself, this is a weakness. It can be destroyed if you were to burn it now, because it's made out of the origami itself. But Deku will slowly figure that out. As the fox would pretty much awaken and look at basically its master, being Deku, and it was crying. It would see that Deku was shivering because it's kind of cold in there. So the fox would basically do natural instincts would be to warm Deku up, as he would pretty much wrap itself around Deku, and kind of like a cub in a way. It would try to keep him warm. It would lay on top of Deku. As Deku would stop shivering, and he would kind of smile because he's a little bit warm. And then the fox would be sleeping, would fall asleep on Deku. In the morning, Deku would actually wake up. Well, what Deku thinks would be the morning, as he would feel something fluffy on him, as Deku thought it was just a dream and he was in his bed. But as he was open his eyes, he would see a fluffy tail wrapped around his body. And Deku would be confused as he would look up and see a fox. Now, of course, Deku would panic, but also he would feel a sense of familiarity with this fox. As Deku would get up, the fox would look up at him, as Deku would just say, "Oh, hey there, what are you doing here?" As the fox would just be sitting up and looking at Deku straight in his face, well, looking down at Deku because the fox is like huge compared to Deku. Like, how'd you get down here? And Deku would be trying to look around for his fox origami, as he would be wondering where it went. As the fox would pretty much come up to Deku's face and rub its face on Deku's, be like, "Hey there, come on, come on, stop." As Deku would kind of push the fox away a little bit, but Deku wouldn't understand what this is. Like, what are you doing here? What's going on? Huh? As he would rub the fox's head, but then Deku would start to realize, as he feels this fox, Deku's fingertips would actually start to glow, you know what, yeah, it would glow red. As he wouldn't know, as Deku, on the other hand, this feels so weird to him. As the fox would pretty much walk in, as the fox would lay its face into Deku, and as Deku felt more comfortable, out of, impulse, Deku had fused with the fox. So imagine a Naruto and Kurama-like situation right now. You know, the One Tails type fusion-ish thing? That would be Deku. Deku would be panicking, wondering what is going on. But then he would look at himself in, like, what broken glass is there. He would see that he's the fox now. He has fox ears, the fox snout, and he has claws and a tail. He wouldn't know what any of this is, but Deku would kind of know. Deku wouldn't know, as now the fox origami would be in his hand. What the? Is this my quirk? How did... As Deku pretty much, well, now, he would want to be normal again as all the fox, you know, energy would go back into the original origami because, you know, there is no... You know what, nah, Deku would just split himself off from the fox, as now the original origami of the fox now still exists, and the fox apparition is still there. And Deku would say, you're part of my quirk? As the fox would pretty much nod, and Deku would look at the fox origami. I made you from this? And Deku would wonder how he did it, as he would gather another set piece of paper, as he would turn this one into a butterfly. As he would fold the origami, well, okay, Deku wouldn't have any more paper material, so he would undo the fox, and the fox would basically disappear. Like, what just, as Deku would realize, now, like, his quirk depended on the origami he made. As now he would fold it into a butterfly this time, okay, just roll with it. This time the paper, okay, since Deku did gather a few things, he did gather a few of his school stuff, but Deku had no intention of going back to school, though. But a few of his arts and crafts and papers were still there. So he did write on a scrap piece of paper, butterfly. And as Deku would kind of hope to do this, he brought the origami and the scrap piece of paper up to his face. As the thing would look in a prayer-like fashion, as the purple mystic breath would come out of Deku's mouth again. As this time, Deku would create a bunch of butterflies. 4 of them to be exact. Deku pretty much is impressed with what he can do. He knew his quirk was something. He just knew it. He could go back to his mom now. He could go back and say she was wrong. That she didn't care about me. Deku could have gone back to his mom, could have gone back to his friends, could have done something, but he didn't want to. His mom didn't care enough about him to want to keep him. And for the next year, Bakugo pretty much made fun of Deku for only having a quirk to be able to fold paper into animals. No one truly cared about Deku. So why should he bother going back? Deku would remain in this abandoned train station for the foreseeable future. He's only 5. So we would cut to, okay, 10 years later, 10 years in the future, where we cut to basically a gang of some sort of vigilantes fighting. I got a very few minutes, but you know what? I'm gonna try my best. Deku would know of these gang wars happening down here, and he would be mad that this is happening like near his home. As you know, okay, there's 2 sides. Okay, there's a good one and the evil one. The evil ones say, "Back off! We've got a whole bunch of hostages here, and if you don't want their brains on the floor, you'll know it's good and drop your weapons." As one of them just says, "Oh man, all right, look, like, all right, fine, we'll stop. Just don't hurt the people." Like, yeah, that's what we thought. Come out with your hands up. And Deku on the hand would get mad at this, and over the years, Deku would create a lot of origami, and this time, he wouldn't have any mercy. So, hearing this, hostages, Deku would bring out one of his many origamis, as it would be in the shape of a wasp. And Deku would create a swarm of wasps. Now, let me tell you something crazy about Deku's quirk. These are the set of wasps he create. I know, it looks like freaking Beedrill from Pokemon. Now, what Deku can do with a quirk that no one really knows about, Deku can add features onto his goddamn animals. As long as they're not too goddamn complicated. Okay, let me tell you this. The smaller the animal, the easier it is to give it extra oomph. Like, Deku would say, be with extra stingers. Deku can do that, but if the animal's like too big, like kaiju level, Deku wouldn't be able to add anything extra onto it. Like, let's say he were to give a gorilla some armor. He could do that. But, you know, it would take a lot of energy from him to do that. And Deku's, you know, unlimited set of animals would be kind of limited to just, you know, armored gorillas. But, hey, that would be fine. But like I said, the smaller, the easier, the bigger, the harder. But if it's kaiju level, he can't add anything onto it because, you know, it's too much. But anyway, Deku would create a swarm of these wasps, as now they would be going at the evil gang, as pretty much they would go around stinging them all over. And these will be the poisonous variants as well. As basically they will be swatting these, like trying to swat these bees away, but they would get stung in the process. But also, Deku wouldn't be there, like, in person. He'd just send his animals out there. And while that's happening, Deku would create another thing. Bam. He would make a bear origami. Oh, and you guys should know what's about to show up. Deku would pretty much, he would call upon an ancient bear that no one's seen in a very, very long time. Ooh, the short-faced bear. Now, this bear here was something different back then. Now, if you guys want to, in respect of how tall it is, I mean, that's a grizzly bear, we got a polar bear, and then we got the short-faced bear. But still, compared to us, that's what that freaking bear would look like standing on its hind legs. No way in the 7 gates of hell we are taking that thing down if that thing was still alive today. We would have to extinct it. We would just have to. Sorry, we got assault rifles and machine guns. We got to extinct that thing. But Deku would create that bear, but he would make it like the muscle mass 100 times bigger. So literally imagine a freaking Mordew from the movie Brave right now. So yeah, oh lord. Deku would create that bear to pretty much run at the evil gang right now. And the gang would be shooting at the bear, but you can't kill it. You just can't. You have to destroy the original Origami. But since it's with Deku, he pretty much knows, and the bear is safe from ever being killed off. But Deku's also created another thing to keep the hostages safe, to get them away. Deku would create one of his favorites, and in case you guys don't know, oops, I am Groot. Whoa, Groot is coming. Would pretty much come out of the subway, like you know, stairs that's leading down to where Deku is. And oh my god, but he would pick up, you know, the hostages safely and get them to a safe place to where they can escape. As pretty much, you know, now Deku's is 15 at this point, but these people would bother him, so he just ends up killing these evildoers because they are villains, by the way. So Deku wouldn't really hesitate to kill these MFers off. So he does just that, and the animals basically, well, the wasp return, the bear comes back, and Groot, you know, does walk back down the stairs. As they would just, as, you know, the good gang would just say, hey, as Groot would look back, as he would put his finger up to his mouth, shh, as, you know, he would wander back down, as Groot would start to crumble. And that's because Deku was pretty much unfolding the paper, because he doesn't want to waste all of it. Now, as these guys here would be wondering what the heck just happened. Oh, sorry, I gotta go back to it. These guys would go down the stairs. As they get to the bottom, it's pitch black down there. I mean, but it does have some places. It has a couch. It actually has a TV. That's because, you know, and it's only connected because of the wiring that's connected throughout the entire subway station. Deku learned how to wire a few things. And that's pretty much it. Just a couch and a TV. Deku doesn't really need anything else. He's got his entertainment. As they would hear a voice that would say, "Leave my home." Like, hold on, we aren't looking for any trouble. We just want to thank you for helping us out. Well, you're pretty much done that, so you can go now. Like, wait, please, just tell us who you are. Oof. As Deku in this outfit, but his face would be covered. Yeah, Deku would have a fox mask on his face. As the animals would surround him, and Deku would just say, "Call me Sen." Like, okay, Sen, thank you for helping us out. Like, Deku would just say, "I know who you people are. Your little gang lives above the law and everything else." Like, yes, but you seem lonely here. Let us help you. What do you mean? We would like to offer you a job. As well, pretty much you seem to living in this abandoned wing of a subway station. And even though it's a good hideout, the heroes are going to find you one way or another, as, you know, the dead bodies are still here. As Deku would realize they are right. And, well, Deku would just say, "Honestly, I've got nothing better to do. Alright, I guess I'll join your little gang. So who are you guys?" And they would say, "We are called the Edge Runners." As that is what we're going to be leaving it off for this episode. Alright, I hope you guys did enjoy Origami Deku. This is the first one. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you want me to get out a specific video faster, I will gladly accept $1 donations for you from you all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we're almost at 50 subs, and that special "What If I Was Talking About" can finally get out. Instead of just anime, guys, I am planning on doing cartoon what ifs, as you guys have seen with the Steven Universe AU. But once we get to 50, there's a what if that I've always wanted to do for a while. And we can also get gameplays done. But yeah, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Turn that bell post notifications on, that way you guys know every time I make a video. But with that being said, like, subscribe, comment down below for the last time. Peace, guys.
I'm with your hoe in the house on the hills. Yeah. I'ma keep it real at the sacrifice and try to get my bands up. Shorty wanna fuck with me, she see me on the camera. She said she in love with me, but really I can't stand her. She just want part of this life, cause she see me on the ground. Double tap like who I am. She can get dangerous, ride with a blam. She can get dangerous, she can get dangerous.